The new EV tax credit is here. We're going to go straight into the most frequently asked questions and give you answers in this video. Obviously, there's been a lot of questions and I've had questions watching this process unfold, but now we have some concrete answers on what's next for the EV tax credit and which cars and how much you're going to get for your Tesla. So question number one, which cars do qualify? Well, here is the latest list of EVs that do qualify and are expected to qualify. Now, the important thing to know here is in 2022, many cars still qualify, but there are some manufacturers like Tesla and Toyota that have sold over 200,000 vehicles, and in Tesla's case, by a long shot, and that was the previous sales cap. So in 2022, Tesla no longer qualifies, but next year, which ones do? So the important thing to know, in 2023, Tesla does qualify. That 200,000 sales cap will be lifted January 1st, 2023, and which cars qualify are this. So the Model 3 and the Model Y do qualify. The Model S and the Model X do not. But let's get a little more granular. Which exact Teslas qualify? To keep things very simple, based on that price, the 55,000 cap for sedans, the MSRP or the suggested price for sedans must be lower than 55,000, so the rear wheel drive would qualify. Now for SUVs or the Model Y, the SUV cap is $80,000, so anything below that would qualify, making every Model Y qualify, and including the future Cybertruck, if it's under 80,000, that would qualify, and the future Model Y standard range would qualify as well. But long story short, we're going to keep things simple. There are two separate requirements, the battery components and battery minerals. So a certain percentage of those have to be sourced from North America or a country that the US has free trade with. Those parts that make up the battery and the minerals. So more information from the IRS is slated to come out at the end of this year. So over the next few months, it's going to be a very important time to get those updates on which cars qualify. So make sure to subscribe. Question number two, when do I get this credit? Well, now you get the credit if you take delivery in 2023 of a qualifying EV purchase. If you take delivery in 2023, you get the credit in 2024 when you file your taxes for 2023. So this is a point of sale credit, which means you essentially get a discount, if you will, $7,500 or $3,750, depending on how the car qualifies. You get the point of sale credit come 2024. So when will you get it? You'll get it in 2024 no matter what. It's either going to be a point of sale, or if you purchase in 2023, it's going to be during tax time for 2024, filing those last year taxes. Question number three, what do you do if you currently have an order? And stick around, we're about to get into when to place your order. But if you currently have an order for a Tesla, let's say you placed this order before the bill was signed. Well, again, Teslas no longer qualify. Now, there is a stipulation for certain other manufacturers. If you have a written binding agreement in place, prior to this being signed, you qualify under the old plan. So cars like Rivian or Lucid can qualify for that. But as far as Tesla goes, if you take delivery in 2022, you will get zero. You must place your order, well, I should say you must take delivery in 2023. So if you placed your order already currently and you have estimated delivery dates of this year, you will not get anything. You must push that delivery date back, and you can contact Tesla to do that. If they allow you to, they may not. Or your only other option would be to cancel that order. Again, you lose that deposit and you have to reorder to take delivery next year in 2023. So for those of you who have not placed your order yet, when should you place your order to guarantee you're going to get something if your EV does qualify? Well, again, you can place your order right now, but you must take delivery in 2023. And again, like we spoke about, when you get the credit, if you take delivery next year, you get it come tax filing in 2024. Or you can place your order and take delivery in 2024, and that'll be point of sale. You'll get it actually at the time of delivery. So here's what I would tell you. If you do want your Tesla as soon as possible, you can place your order right now, and I would recommend doing so if you're comfortable with the prices, and take delivery in 2023. That way you will get an EV tax credit if your car does qualify based on the battery components, based on the battery minerals, and the location of assembly. And of course with Tesla, the assembly is no problem because if you're taking delivery here in the United States, the assembly locations that'll qualify. So here's what I think is gonna happen if you're okay on waiting. I think prices could fall. I think they might fall slightly from 1 to 3,000 over the next 1 to 3 months as we approach the end of the year. And the reason I say that is Elon has said that the price for their goods to make these batteries is falling over the next 6 to 8 months. And again, with delivery lead times, they're really future pricing their vehicles. What will the price of those goods be down the road? He's seen those prices fall. Also, he is predicting that we are past peak inflation, and he said on Twitter, if inflation calms, then Tesla prices can fall as well. So I think that if you're okay on waiting, I would wait again 1 to 3 months, even into 2024, because I don't see prices continuing to rise, because with more competition, I'm sure, even though I know demand is sky high right now, so why would Tesla on an economic standpoint lower their prices? They could make more money by charging more, right? Well, they also want to make sure their gap increases. They don't want anyone to catch them in market share. So long story short, I think they may lower their prices if you're willing to wait. The biggest question I'm sure everyone is wondering right now, this is really important with this information now being passed. How much will I get? Here's the answer. Remember those requirements for battery, minerals, and components? Well, you're either going to get $7,500 or you're going to get $3,750, which is half that, or of course you can get zero. But here's how it breaks down. Model 3 rear-wheel drive, I think you might get $3,750 because the battery components come from China, at least currently. Now there's been some talks that Tesla is getting a variety of batteries, some from the cattle industry, it's CATL, some from BYD, which are Blade batteries. Those are mostly for the Berlin location. But long story short, this is a constantly changing thing. Tesla is constantly, they're battery agnostic. That means they don't care what batteries they get as long as it works. So make sure to subscribe to get future updates if your car qualifies. So rear wheel drive, currently you might get $3,750. Long range Model 3, that's no longer available for order on the website. What I think is gonna happen is gonna come back online at a $55,000 price to meet the EV tax credit. Now, this is debatable because then after the tax credit, let's say you get $7,500 because the batteries qualify, then it would be nearly the same price as the rear wheel drive. So if it does come online at $55,000, will they lower the price of the rear wheel drive so there's more of a gap and more of an incentive to pay more for the long range? Make sure to stick around for this update. Again, this is changing. The long range Model 3, I think you're possibly gonna get $7,500. I think the batteries may qualify and the price is going to qualify. So we're gonna see if that happens and my prediction is correct. That's what I think might happen. Model Y, here's what I think is gonna happen. How much will you get? I think it's gonna be the same across the board. All Model Ys, I believe, are gonna get $7,500 or $3,750. I think they're all gonna get the same thing because they're all sharing that same price range. They're all under $80,000, which in the Model 3's case, the Model 3 Performance doesn't qualify because it's over that $55,000 cap. So as long as the battery components are consistent in the Model Y, again, Tesla likes to play around and switch around batteries, so that might change, but I think you might get $7,500. I'm gonna stick to that. We're gonna see what happens. Again, the big obstacle, I know, I completely observe it, are the battery requirements. So it might be $3,750. So the Model Y, there's a big question mark. More information and time will tell. Should you cancel your order? If you currently have an order, well, if you take delivery in 2022, you get zero. Now again, if you're getting the Performance Model 3, that's not gonna qualify anyway, so you might as well take delivery. The Model X and S do not qualify. You might as well take delivery. But if you're waiting on a tax credit and you're okay losing that deposit that you put down, and you're okay getting back in line and waiting, then yes, you should cancel, and that's up to you. I don't know your situation or anything like that, but if you're looking at the EV tax credit, that's the only way, and there's no guarantees. They could change the batteries, something could happen where the price increases and you no longer qualify, but my predictions are you will get something for a lot of these vehicles, minus the Model 3 Performance. I think the long range will get something. I think the Model 3 long range will come back online. So that's up to you. If you want the EV tax credit, you probably should consider canceling. Will you get anything from the Model Y? Well, for the assembly requirement, it does meet that requirement being made in Austin and Fremont. But the batteries are the big question mark. So I want to know what you think. Will the Model Y get $7,500? Will it get $3,750? What are your thoughts? I think it's going to be consistent no matter what it happens to be. I think they're all going to get the same thing. I want to know what you think in the comment section below. If you decide to lease a Tesla, do you get anything? The answer is no. You must have a new vehicle purchase. And by the way, used EVs get $4,000. So this is new if you're deciding to get a used Tesla. Again, it must be in 2023. You now get $4,000. But if you decide to lease a Tesla, you do not get anything. If you decide to purchase a new Tesla, you'll get $7,500 or potentially half that, which is $3,750. And of course, zero if your car does not qualify. So I'm sure there are a lot of questions still. Those are some of the most frequently asked questions, over hundreds and hundreds of comments. Now again, I'm constantly learning. I'm learning from you, sharing your stories down in the comment section below on when you ordered, when you're taking delivery, and also how happy you are with your Tesla purchase. I love reading all of those comments, so make sure to put them down below. The only way I know you like this content is to drop a like, and of course consider subscribing. Really important next few months as far as battery requirements and more information. Again, this is Matt from Funk to Trunk. We will see you in the next video.